Batman films always tend to feel like they're from a different dimension, even though they have deeply influences on the genre around them. The fairy tale fever dream of Tim Burton's Batman Returns in 1992 and the toyetic glowstick wonderland of Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin in 1997 seem like cases of wild abandon instead of studio blockbusters, especially by comparison with 2000's fairly subdued X-Men. Nolan's trilogy is hyper-focused on George W. Bush-era politics. Their films built around the intricacies and moralities of terrorism and surveillance states, made back when the nascent Marvel Cinematic Universe was focused on relatively uncomplicated good versus mostly evil fantasy. At the end of 2012's The Dark Knight Rises, writer-director Christopher Nolan leaves Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale, far from his traditional crime-fighting quest. He's seemingly freed himself of the physical and psychological burden of being Batman. Now he can relax, shoot knowing glances at Alfred, Michael Caine, from across a cafe, and get tipsy around Europe with the woman formerly known as Catwoman, Anne Hathaway. Meanwhile, back in Gotham City, former cop John Blake, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, discovers the Batcave beneath the rebuilt Wayne Manor. Blake has spent the entire film being promoted as the closest thing to Batman's heir apparent, from his revelation that he deduced Bruce Wayne's secret identity to the end, revealed that his legal name is Robin. As the credits hit and Hans Zimmer's score blares, he ascends to take on the mantle. And then the series is over. Not paused until the next sequel or spin-off, not nominally wrapped until a credits scene setting up a new branch of a franchise, but over. After perhaps the biggest ending tease in modern superhero films that doesn't involve Captain America's shield, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight story concludes, with no intentions for a revival or a continuation. In the age of expanded universes and multiplying timelines, that isn't just rare, it's purely singular. The Dark Knight Rises came out a full decade ago, and it marks the last time a major superhero story was allowed to definitively wrap up. The Dark Knight Rises came out the same summer as Marvel's The Avengers, and with Rises serving as the concrete finale of one story, it's hard to not see it as a kind of passing of the torch between two series that defined their genre. The Avengers marked a major expansion point for the MCU, ending the prologue of Phase 1 and setting up a series where nearly every subsequent entry would be deeply connected to the others. Soon afterward, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel harkened the arrival of the DC Extended Universe, which included a new Batman who had to coexist with the comic book reverie Nolan had been so eager to ground. For the first time, a live-action Batman rubbed shoulders with the heroes who hung out outside the Gotham City limits. With varying degrees of success, expanded universes popped up everywhere, from the Fast and Furious films to Universal's abortive Dark Universe series about horror icons. In the move toward films that primarily existed to set up future films, the Dark Knight trilogy seemed like even more of an oddity among its peers. Because from that point on, even when other superhero movies seemed to end and their leading characters returned to some point of equilibrium, the loose ends were never entirely tied up. Even if they seemed to be, the next movie in the series would eventually untie them again. By the time Fox's X-Men series was swallowed up in the merger with Disney, it was a messy blend of timelines, spin-offs, and soft reboots. 2017's Logan did offer a farewell for Wolverine, the mutant who had shouldered the X-Men series for 17 years, and for Hugh Jackman, the actor who never dropped out of that series, even at its clumsiest. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our channel